staring at the little red buttons, and the numbers are going up, and my microphone is on, and Mouse has got volume, and I heard it, and even though if he just moves his mouth and makes no noise, I know it's there. So,
I do move my mouth.
I know you move your mouth. We're not going to Godzilla our way through this. I'm sorry. All right. So, welcome everyone. This is episode 51 of Geekamole, and this is our media week, and it will be our last official episode of the year. This being December, we will be doing the obligatory best and worst of media and games at some point between Mouse and I, once we figure out what the hell we're doing, because we'd like to do these things at the last minute, as evidenced by the fact that it is now 12:46.
I have no responsibility for that. What happened, very briefly, is that I put my computer to sleep while I went and, brushed my teeth and stuff, whatnot. And so when I came to do the show exactly at 12:29, 12:28, so we could be ready, my audio was dead. I put my computer out of sleep and my audio was completely dead. I had to restart it. Windows 10.
I blame Windows. It's perpetually Windows 10, because I never have this issue, and I'm still on 7. So
if it's not the drivers, and it's Hey Cortana doing something stupid.
You said her name. Shh. Don't wake her up.
Don't wake her up.
She whose name must not be spoken.
She who must not be named. How can I help you? Ah!
All right, so let's bust through this so that we can get on with our days, because I have to prepare for Threshold tonight, because we're coming back for a new Threshold. You don't know because you don't play it, but Threshold is my RPG that I run with my friends from online. Every other Saturday. Pardon me, every other Sunday.
You just sounded like Kid Loki. My friends from the world of online.
My friends from the world of online. That's it's a sci-fi crossover game that has Star Trek, Star Wars, Stargate, Farscape, Babylon 5. It's got everything. It's sorts of.
It's kind of like a weekend on browsing archive of our own, then.
Sure.
It's like the massive fan fiction of the internet.
Except it goes on and on and on and on. Anyways, so let's get this party started right.
Right. I start, right?
No, I start. Don't you read the notes?
Go on.
See, this is he tried to end the show early last week. So I swapped the order so that he could have the last say this time. He doesn't read the notes. I put them up. He doesn't read them.
I do read the notes. It just looked like I opened the show. I didn't know. Keep going.
Unless your name is Drew or the Mummy.
Oh, yeah. I don't like the Mummy, so that's probably why I forgot that opened. Anyways, let's go. We're wasting time.
So, anyways, the Mummy. I'm always wary of a remake, even though I hear rumors that Dune is possibly getting a cinematic remake. But we'll see. Anyways, that's a side story. I'm wary of remakes because let's look at Ghostbusters. But I'm not saying that the Brendan Fraser Mummy run was the cinematic masterpiece that the original Ghostbusters was. It spun off the freaking Scorpion King, for God's sake. But now we have Tom Cruise and a female mummy, and it's taking place in the modern day. Anyways, there's a new teaser trailer out. I'm kind of split on it. I'm not overly impressed, but then again, it doesn't have a hell of a lot of special effects, and the female mummy is tiny, but then again, Tom Cruise is tiny, so what can I say? They'll probably look more impressive that way. I can only hope that this plot is more engaging than some ancient mummy wakes up and decides to resurrect his long-dead girlfriend in the body of a conveniently placed actress.
I hate to break it to you, but that's probably what it's going to be.
Well, it'll be a long dead boyfriend considering it's a female mummy, but unless, female mummies went that way, who knows? Because that would make it interesting.
Indeed.
Anyways, movie is coming June 9th, 2017. So if you want to go out and see the freaking trailer, it's on YouTube. But wait until after the show, because that's the rule.
That's our motto. Watch everything after the show.
After the show. All right, next up, Mouse.
All right, so let's talk about things that nobody asked for and nobody wanted. Beginning with Jean Grey getting her own ongoing series as part of 2017's Resurrection line. Not it's supposed to be Resurrection line, but it's spelled Resurrxion, and people like this should not be encouraged. But Jean,
Marvel, they're going to slip an X anywhere they can.
Jean basically gets the premonition that the Phoenix is back in play and that the Earth is doomed unless Jean Grey can step up. And it's, again, nobody wanted this, nobody cared. It's been done to death, so I'm not going to read it because I don't care. Are you going to read it?
They won't let the Phoenix die? Heaven forbid.
I mean, yeah. How about you, Drew? Are you going to read this?
I haven't read a comic book in about a month, so I'm kind of over it at the moment.
You're missing out, actually. Rebirth is actually quite good. But anyways, going on to things, well, it's not that nobody wanted, but puzzling things. So, the Human Torch, Johnny Storm, is pansexual. At least that is what has been confirmed by Marjorie Liu, who was the writer from, how do you pronounce his name, Dakin or Dakin?
I don't know. I have no idea.
Wolverine's pheromone producing bisexual son.
Dakin.
Dakin. Okay, so during Dakin Dark Wolverine, there was a bit of sexual tension between Johnny Storm and Dakin, and people basically were sort of, is he, isn't he, what's going on? Well, yeah, Johnny Storm is pansexual, so that's the news.
Have sex with pants.
Covered
cast iron.
Cast iron pants.
Is the only thing that can withstand the heat.
So here's the thing. So, no, I'm not even going to. I am not even going to dignify that with an answer. Moving right along, we're going to talk also about the fact that Iceman, as we all know, he was outed by jerk Jean Grey, teenage jerk Jean Grey.
Jean Gaydar?
Jean's telepathic gaydar. And so, it has been revealed that both teenage Iceman and grown-up Iceman are gay, just that grown-up Iceman has sort of been in the closet for forever and in denial because he's Cleopatra. So he is now getting an ongoing series, which will be the first time the character will have had an ongoing series. This is a character that debuted in the 60s, just to remind everyone. But in a bit of thingy... the writers have basically stated that a lot of the ongoing series will focus on Iceman's sexuality and his dating life. And
are we talking the adult one or the teen one? Because
I believe we are. The release was not very clear about that, but considering
because they're really the last one I read, they really are over pushing it. I'm like going, give it a rest.
Yeah, the whole bit with him hitting on that guy in the nightclub and then freezing his drink and almost freezing it. Yeah, it was kind of. Here's the thing, Marvel, I get it, right? You're doing, you want to be inclusive, and I have no qualms with Bobby coming out of the closet, especially since a good amount of the impetus to out the character was the fact that there was an enormous amount of fan theories based on written material that could be read very ambiguously. So you have that. However, I don't really want to read a book about Iceman figuring out how to gay date. That's what the Young Avengers were for. We already had that with Bill and Ted, and Bill and Ted's very excellent and incredibly gay adventure, and that was well written. Huh? And that was well written. So we don't really need to be doing that with Bobby. I mean, if you want, yeah, just. I don't want a romance.
Rein it in, Marvel. Rein it in.
Yeah, ring it in. I mean, you're already going to have a series with America Chavez, who was created, and I'd rather read America Chavez and her life as a teenage ass kicker than Bobby, who has always been a bag of insecurities, now having more things to be insecure about. Yay! So, and a fun, cute little tidbit. People were basically saying, well, now that Iceman is gay and Johnny Storm is pansexual, they should get together. And at which point I say, well, then you can have the theme song be Pat Benatar's Fire and Ice. I don't want to see that.
He wanted me to play that, but I'm not gonna.
I so wanted to.
All right, is that it for Marvel?
That's it for Marvel.
All right, moving on to, well, kind of Marvel. Guardians of the Galaxy 2, the new trailer. Well, it is Marvel, that's why I said kind of Marvel. The new trailer is out for Volume 2 of the movie. It is pretty bloody long and has everything from action to some pretty cute, funny bits. You get to hear Vin Diesel as Baby Groot. I'm Groot. It's actually pretty hysterical. You get to see... I'm not going to say this name right. We'll try it. Palm Clementif as Mantis, revealing some deep, dark secrets of Star-Lord's. This is supposed to take place just a couple months after the original movie, so they're still coping with coming together as a team and looking into Star-Lord's parental issues, shall we say. So... I'm eagerly awaiting this movie, and I know a lot of people else. What the hell am I speaking? English. Come back to me.
And that was your major. That's a sad
That
thing.
was my major and my primary language.
You have no excuse.
I have no excuse. Anyways, so there, we're waiting for it, and bated breath and eagerly and all that sort of stuff.
So,
next up,
let's talk a little bit about Rebirth. We've had some letters being dropped by Dan Didio that give us a hint of what the future of Rebirth will hold. I don't know how to feel about this or what to think about this, but we have the revelation of the villain. In the December launching event Justice League versus the Suicide Squad. It will be, of course, Maxwell Lord. The version of this character, of course, is the director of Checkmate. He's a telepath. He is telekinetic, and he's a mental manipulator. And he is associated with one of the worst storylines I ever read in the Justice League. So I always feel a little bit skeezy about him. But
he whose major weakness is a nosebleed.
What?
He whose major weakness is a nosebleed.
Is a nosebleed, which is so bold because even if... Never mind. I'm not going to go into the medical aspects of that. But this will precipitate a team-up between the Suicide Squad and the Justice League, and apparently a cat fight between Wonder Woman and Harley Quinn. I have no idea how Harley's even going to survive that, but in any case, that's what's happening with the Justice League.
The green pills from Injustice?
Okay.
It's 2:00.
Very briefly, I hate Injustice. I absolutely hate Injustice, but I think it has the best written Harley Quinn ever, outside of the Palmiotti version. So we also have some more news about the mysteries that were left dangling on Rebirth #1, such as, for example, the little happy face. The comedian's face that got somehow embedded in Batman's Batcave when Wally appeared there in a flash of plot exposition. Batman's analysis of the button show that it has blood, that the blood in the bottom has traces of radiation unlike anything we have ever seen, which reminds you of whom?
Radiation Man, no.
I hate you so hard.
It's DC. You know it's going to be somebody, man. Maybe a Doctor Man.
Maybe a Dr. Man. And, and speaking of people who are somewhat related to the Dr. Man, we will also find out very soon, apparently, what the identity of Mr. Oz will be. Most people have already guessed that it is Ozymandias from The Watchmen, but we don't know for sure. Ozymandias kidnapped Doomsday and Tim Drake, putting them both out of play, which Tim Drake fans kind of got bummed because, that meant that Damian Wayne, such a pleasant character, is now the leader of the Titans. But Didio said
that was coming anyway, so...
We knew that was coming anyways. I don't like Damian, but whatever. Didio has said that Tim Drake will come to the fore very soon. What the hell that means, we don't know.
He's coming to Earth 4.
Very briefly...
He's going to play golf.
We also know that the Green Lantern titles are bringing back a lot of things that had vanished during New 52, and including some of, we're going to get the Corpse back, we get Kyle Rayner back, we got the Blue Lanterns, the Guardians, Saronic Now, the former Green Lantern, who's also Sinistra's daughter, will be leading...
Spoilers!
Yeah, will be leading the Yellow Lanterns. How does he have a daughter? I mean, ooh, just no.
Just because he's sliming a car salesman doesn't mean...
So, Aquaman is getting a presidential pardon from Barack Obama before his second term ends. Barbara Gordon has a new love interest who just happens to be the Penguin's son. Because Barbara
Speaking
Gordon
of ew.
makes the best decisions, I guess. And apparently Wonder Woman 15 will have Wonder Woman committed to an asylum because she snaps. So we've got all of that to look forward to with Rebirth in the new year.
Yes. Okay.
Well, it's Greg Rucka. I am always willing to give him the benefit of the doubt because he writes good stories and he's very seldom out of character with Wonder Woman. So we'll see what happens with this.
Moving on. Did you just throw the Wonder Woman topic into this at the same time, or do we still talk about her later?
We'll still talk about her later.
Okay. So DC Cinematic Universe. It's been recently revealed that The Flash has lost its director again, Rick Famuyiwa. I'll never say it right.
Famuyiwa.
Whoever he is. Citing creative differences. His departure wasn't the first. Apparently they lost also Seth Grahame-Smith a couple months ago. This is also with Wonder Woman having lost Michelle McLaren before picking up Patty Jenkins.
Which seems to have been an upgrade, considering Michelle McLaren wanted Wonder Woman to walk around with a tame tiger who could speak.
That sounds awesome.
Hi, Asher.
Hi, Asher.
That's his husband. He hides behind the green screen. Anyways, he's the mystery hand that brings the frappuccinos.
He's a mystery.
Anyways, so there is some complaint that possibly Warner Brothers may be the secret villain behind the DC Cinematic Universe's death. Which we
color me surprised.
I'm shocked. Ironically, shocked. It's because some are saying that it's because that they won't get out of the way of their own directors. I blame them that they even thought of bringing Zack Snyder in the first place.
Yeah.
But let's be honest, they have been really taking these movies so far and ripping them to shreds when they should have just been left alone.
Hey, these are the masterminds who made the Looney Tunes and the Tiny Toons unprofitable. There is nothing these people will not ruin.
Well, I mean, as much as I don't particularly care for, the movie which shall not be named, let's be honest, the longer, uncut version finally actually explained some crap that should have been explained.
So you like the longer and uncut version?
I'm not saying I liked it more, but it explained things.
It's more like your preference on
between the two. I'd rather see the longer one and just worry about my watch. Yes. you have to have explanation of things. I mean, some things you don't need to spoon feed, but other stuff you kind of need. And then Suicide Squad.
So you prefer to be worked up to the climax rather than just have that happen right away.
Yeah, I don't want a premature climax. Anyways, you take Suicide Squad. Suicide Squad, after it was completed, was completely recut and recast and redone and all that.
And there were 2 cuts made. Don't forget.
There were 2 cuts, so I'm going to only hope that with Justice League, they finally took a lesson, and with Wonder Woman, they finally took a lesson and said, the movie is what it is. Done. Because if they get to the point where they have completely cast everything and finalized it, and it's all beautiful and done, and then they come back and say, you know what? This needs 23 scenes removed and 15 others completely added, and we're going to change the flavor of the film. No. I'm going to send a nun to slap a ruler across all your hands. Hopefully Jeff Johns and John Berg don't allow it. And speaking on this particular topic, Aquaman has at least received an official release date.
Thank goodness.
Currently October 5th, 2018. That makes it the 4th, I believe, film. Let's see. So, yeah, we'll have Wonder Woman June 2nd, 2017, Justice League November 17th, 2017, Flash in March 16th of 2018, and then Aquaman October 5th of 2018. So, hopefully Warner Brothers learns to keep its little fingers out of the director's chair. And moving on to our obligatory Wonder Woman topic, because this is, Wonder Woman Weekly. Mouse.
So we have British author Emma Beebe made history in 2013 as the first female writer of Judge Dredd. Now she is delivering a team up with Wonder Woman and Catwoman in the new talent showcase. It's called The Amazonian Job, which is, the title is of course a riff on The Italian Job, and it does include a collaboration in a sort of bit of a heist. And I don't want to say too much about it. It is available now. Go and get it, because actually it's very, very good.
All right. It would help if I was in the right screen when I hit that button. All right, the Vampire Chronicles. Well, fortunately, the theatrical rights to the Vampire Chronicles have completely reverted back to Anne Rice after a horrible, horrible second movie. And she and her son have decided.
The good one was to begin with.
What?
The good one. The first one wasn't that good to begin with.
The first one was fine. The first one was a success, and You're allowed to your opinion, no matter how wrong it is. But considering it was a $60 million budget film and they earned $223 million off of it, I think they did fine.
I blame Anne Rice specifically for Twilight. She was the grandmother of that horrification.
Don't blame her. I mean, she didn't pin that crap.
No, but she basically is the one. Sure, vampires had that bit of disturbingly erotic subtext in many of the Gothic fiction. But Anne Rice is the one who basically. She's the one who grabbed that thing, took it out of the closet, filled it with black and white sparkles, and
not a single sparkle involved. There are no sparkling vampires.
I am talking about figurative sparkles.
She's the one that made it glamorous
and
sexy
and extremely gay.
All the gay, all the gay.
All the little gay vampires.
It is homoerotic to the extreme.
I misheard you. I thought you said hobo-erotic, and I went, no.
They're totally into hobos.
That is a genre we do not need.
Just like, Human Torches into pans, they're into hobos.
Yeah. No.
Anyways, she and her son, who have, they finally got the rights back from whoever held Warner Brothers. Oh, it was Warner Brothers. There you go. That explains it. Anyways,
Man, they are kind of like the Electronic Arts of movies, aren't they?
well, see, the thing is that, like I said, you may not like the first one, but I liked the first one. The horrible truth about the second one was that they had to rush the second one into creation, otherwise they would lose the rights. I actually used to hear that Tom Cruise refused to come back as Lestat because he didn't want to be typecast, and I actually counted that against Tom Cruise for the longest time. And so while researching this, I went back and I'm like, was that ever really said? I want to find the quote. And I'm looking at this, and everything I found said no. He didn't come back because the movie was rushed. It was literally plotched together, and they skipped over the second movie, which would the second novel, which would be the Vampire Lestat, to go to Queen of the Damned, because they couldn't figure out how to cut down Vampire Lestat into a 2-hour movie. And then as a result, they went, well, we'll use Queen of the Damned. And then they said, you know what? We're going to rewrite Queen of the Damned. And
Warner Brothers.
So really no one came back for it because... And that was Warner Brothers. This is kind of like their Fantastic Four attempt.
This is Warner Brothers has a very storied history in failing so hard. It's amazing.
But the long and short of it is that she has it back in her control. They have decided after 2 other failed attempts at bringing, I think, The Body Thief to theaters, which really didn't get past the early phases. They've decided she's decided that, in the fine tradition of the Vampire Diaries and whatever that one with Sookie Stackhouse was.
Sookie Stackhouse.
Yeah, those novels. I'm going to be honest. Any vampire movie which has a main character whose name is Sookie, which is just Sookie, that's a little too on point. Anyways, so that's just my complaining. But yeah, they've decided that vampires belong on TV. And so that's where they're going to be shopping the Vampire Chronicles. They are working on a plot. Not a plot.
They're already plotting all over the place.
They're working on a pilot, 12-episode plot line, and a series Bible. Their intent is obviously to follow the Vampire Chronicles faithfully. And who knows? But it is only currently now in the early development stages. They have not yet shopped it to anybody, but I'm going to keep my fingers crossed. Because this I will watch, especially if HBO picks it up, because butts and tits and things.
Anyways, moving on. Our final topic. So, construction
Is
the
it our final topic?
I don't know.
It's not. Why do I bother?
I thought you said I had the final topic.
You do, darling.
But
this is not your final topic either.
What? I thought I was going to talk about Star Trek.
You're not talking about Star Trek right now.
What am I talking about? What am I talking about right now?
You're talking about Harry Potter.
I am talking about Harry Potter, am I not?
Next time I'm just going to put up a blank page and see what he does.
You're going to put a what?
I'm just going to put up a blank page on our show notes and see what he does.
I copied the notes in the wrong order, okay?
I can't help what order you copied them in. I only can help what I put up.
Oh, gosh.
I put my notes... See, what we do is, he emails me his topics for the day. I then go and select mine around his. I then put them in an order that is somewhat logical. I then post them to a private page where he can see them. And then I proceed to put my notes in between for my topics. I don't put his notes in because I don't care what he says. I only care what order he says it in. All
right. Anyways, now that you jolted my memory, my penultimate topic is that Harry Potter and the Cursed Child, which is, of course, a play written by Jack Thorne with, supervision by J.K. Rowling, Miss Castle owner herself. There's a chance that it may be making its way to Broadway in 2018. The producers are in the final stages of negotiations with Ambassador Theatre Group to initiate basically the sequestering of the theater and the transformation of the stage, because if it has to be on Broadway, then it has to look like it is on Broadway. They will be remodeling the theater from, I think is like from a 1900 seat to they're going to make it smaller. It'll be like 1,400 to 1,500 people. And the designer they have chosen, it will be Christine and the director John Tiffany. They're overseeing the design. They want to make it a more intimate experience. So we'll have to see whether or not we see Harry Potter on Broadway, which just the sound of that is something very bizarre. I did not say what I wanted to say for Mary Poppins' sake. I wanted to say it was something quite atrocious, but this is Mary Poppins, not Harry Potter.
Okay. Shall we move on?
Yes.
Moving on to my final topic.
Sure, rub it in.
And the penultimate topic of the day. Riverdale. CW has released its teaser, I guess, for the mid-season launch, I guess, of Riverdale, which is their gritty take on the Archie comics.
Because we needed that.
Yes, so if you want to see a bunch of sexy people, young people running around with their clothes off or whatnot, just looking angsty.
And getting high on heroin, because Veronica is Colombian and her father is a drug lord, if I remember correctly.
Something like that. And they're all angsty teens because it's the modern day, and CW does love their angsty teens.
Yes, they do.
And it's going to be the first season is going to be dealing with the murder mystery of one of the students.
I can't wait. I cannot wait to see Sabrina the Teen Satanist. That's what's they're gonna have to.
She's just misunderstood. She's a pagan, not a Satanist.
They're gonna have Josie and the Pussycats investigate white slavery.
I want Josie and the Pussycats to show up in this so badly. I do. Maybe season 2, after the murder mystery is over, they can have some sort of Scooby-Doo-esque moment, and then somebody could have gotten away with it if not for those darn Josie and the Pussycats. But yeah, there you go. Go watch the trailer after the show. After the show. I'm looking at you. Okay. And then last but not least, Mouse.
I forgot my topic. No.
I'm going to end the show there because he forgot his topic.
No, it's so the construction for the sets of Star Trek Discovery are going to be finished within a month, so around January, and filming
when it was supposed to have started.
When it was supposed to have started, it was slated to shoot in November of this year, but it got delayed, so it's been pushed back to spring of 2017, with a debut so far in May. Brian Fuller, who was the show's executive producer, has stepped aside so he can give more time to the upcoming American Gods, which I can deal with that. Anything related to Neil Gaiman needs super love. So Gretchen Berg and Aaron Harberts are stepping in to run the show.
Does he really have that many A's in his name?
I was slightly uncertain as to how to pronounce his last name, so my brain was locked in the fricative sort of
flames on the side.
Names on the side of my tongue. So for those of you who might have heard of the casting, the series has Michelle Yeoh as Hanbo. She's the captain of the starship Shenzhou, which will be one of the protagonist vessels, I guess, in Discovery, along with Doc Jones is Lieutenant Saru, who is an alien from a previously unseen species in the Star Trek universe.
I'm hoping Kazinti.
No, that's the they already exist.
Unofficially.
Unofficially. And then you have Anthony Rapp as the Discovery Science Officer, Lieutenant Stamets, who is an expert in space fungus. He sounds fascinating.
He's the Egon Spengler of this ship.
He is the Egon Spengler of the ship.
I only hope.
And so that is my final topic. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, we do close the show because it is the final topic and no one else has anything worthwhile hearing.
No one else has anything worthwhile hearing. I'm going to dispute that and say, if you like what you see, hit the follow button down below, because I haven't said it in a while.
Except from that, yes, follow us.
And thank God for Jim, because we haven't said that in a while.
Yes, well, we usually aim to say that in a game-related episode, but we haven't had any more FU Konami news from him.
Although Guillermo del Toro did say that almost exclusively.
Yes, he did. Most certainly did. I wonder. I think Jim should have him as a guest in his show, just to have him say it in that wonderful accent of his.
I think if Jim could get Guillermo, I say it wrong every time.
Guillermo del Toro.
Thank you, oh Spanish speaker.
You have to say it. You have to say it with an Antonio Banderas accent. Guillermo del Toro.
If I could pull off Antonio Banderas' accent, I would have a much better, internet presence, I think.
You have to remember, people, follow us on YouTube. You want to follow us.
You want to follow us.
You want to follow us.
I'll give you the Antonio sneer.
Yeah. All right, so you do the sneer, I do the voice. Between the two of us, we make a third of, like, a fifth of Antonio Banderas.
Yes, because just the sneer and the voice, that's the a fifth of him. The other 4/5 would be his body.
Yeah.
His
the
sex
hair.
appeal, the hair. Anyways. So there we are. Come back sometime.
Next episode will be a lot shorter. I kind of lost thought. It's been a very crazy weekend, so I just felt like gabbing. So yes.
What weekend don't we feel just like gabbing?
I felt like extra gabbing.
Extra.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I don't because XSplit doesn't actually tell me how many minutes this has been going. If this were OBS, it would actually tell me how long this has been recording. I
think we just
got
broke
a couple that are 30 to 40 minutes long. So I don't think we're not going to end the show. We're just going to keep talking. Hi, everybody.
Welcome, possums. Welcome to the Dame Edna show.
Hello, welcome.
Hello, possums. Anyways, now
he'll do Dame Edna and I'll do Medea. Hello.
Okay, no, enough. Shut this thing down before it gets worse.
Worse?
It totally can get worse. Trust me.
Oh, I know it could. It could. Yeah. Anyway, so bye, everybody.
Bye.